Hello, good people of the Bronx and beyond. Welcome to A Life in Art. For artists, balancing the struggles of practical life and pursuing a dream are par for the course. In this show, we will bring you engaging and personal conversations with actors, dancers, singers, musicians, and other performing artists who you may not be familiar with. People who have been working on their craft for at least a decade and are at a crossroads where passion meets necessity, but whose talent and quality of work cannot be denied. This is A Life in Art. Welcome everyone, my name is Henry Ovalles and I'm your host for A Life in Art. We'll discuss creativity and inspiration with our guest artists, but also ask questions such as, where's this month's rent coming from? How much longer can I continue to perform for the love of the art? Can I feel fulfilled without my art? Our guest today is a talented musician, singer, songwriter, and teacher. He has been seen performing all over the tri-state area, both as a solo artist and with his band Cardinal Theory. Today we learn about Odane Whilby's Life in Art.
Two of us have a lot to see. On the silent stock and through the windows of our being, what are we waiting for? The skies within our reach. I couldn't ask for more. I just hope that you breathe. If you say yes this time, I won't say no. I'll hold your hand, yeah, and I won't let you go. Yeah, is where we'll see the brighter side, yeah, of you and me.
Here we are, A Life in Art. My guest today, Odane Whilby. Odane, thanks so much for being here, man.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So we've known each other for a few years now. You and your band played at my wedding. I was the MC for your wedding, so there's been a strong friendship there, going on for a while. Let's start at the beginning, Odane. Let me see where it all began for you. Where were you born?
I was born in Westchester, in Valhalla, Westchester Medical Center, a long time ago.
long time ago. And did you grow up in New Rochelle?
Yeah, I grew up in New Rochelle. I went to elementary school, middle school, high school, all in New Rochelle. I am New Rochelle born and bred.
Got it. So when did you venture over to the Bronx, which is where I met you?
After a stint at Westchester Community College, I started going to Lehman College. That's where we met. I think maybe my second semester.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
And at Lehman, you were a music major, yes?
Yes.
Okay. What was your minor, if you had one?
My minor was wasting time.
But don't you have to declare like an official one, or?
What was the minor? I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure that it was a waste of time.
It impacted you that profoundly that you don't even know what it was.
Yeah.
You're not that old, though, Dave.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, even at the time I was going to school, I didn't know what my minor was. So.
Okay. All right. Good excuse. So New Rochelle, elementary school, middle school, high school, then you come to the Bronx for college after a couple of years at a community college. When does the artistic bug hit you? When does music start with you?
Well, it hit me at a Westchester community. I was actually playing for another artist at the time. It was a gospel artist at the time out of Mount Vernon. And I mean, even before then, I was dueling around on guitar, but I was playing bass. I'm a bass player. Okay. A lot of people knew me before that as just a bass player. I played for a different artist. And yeah, watching him and just kind of like saying, I could do that.
All right, so that's when it became sort of serious for you. But when did you start learning? When did you learn how to play instruments? And
Oh man, that goes all the way back to when I was a kid, like, 5, 6. I was playing drums in church.
Okay.
I'm what you call a church rat. I'm not really a church mouse. I'm a church rat.
church rat.
Yeah.
What's the difference between church mouse and church rat?
A lot more trouble.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
All right, so music is important in your family. Obviously, I know your brother Devane is also, Fats, as we call him, on the keys.
Right.
So did you start playing different instruments as well and then got led into the bass, or was it sort of like, no, this is your instrument here?
I played drums. I think we all started off on drums.
Got
and
it.
then
Got to get that rhythm right.
Right. And then we had to sing. We all sang in the choir, in the kids' choir or whatever. And my uncle played keyboard, so I started messing around with keyboard. And then one of the guys that I thought was the coolest guy in the world was playing bass, and I was like, I want to be like that guy. So I started playing
That's when
bass.
you picked up the bass.
Yeah.
Got it. And talk to me a little bit more about your family life. So you have just the one brother, the one sibling, Devane?
Yeah, I have one younger brother. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then your parents obviously still together.
Yes.
And what's their story? Where did they meet? Where did they come from?
My parents are from Jamaica. My father's from St. Ann, and my mother's from Savannah Lamar. That's in Westmoreland. So
Okay.
they're like from different sides of Jamaica, but
Did they meet in Jamaica or here
they
in the
met
States?
in Jamaica. Yeah, they met in Jamaica. They went to the same school, and they met at church.
Got it. Have you been to Jamaica?
Yeah, it's been a while though, but yeah, I've been to Jamaica, and yeah.
Right, get the musical influences there. Am I remembering correctly? Is there some sort of connection, some bloodline that leads you to Bob Marley?
Yeah, Bob Marley is my dad's cousin. So
Oh, so it's not even that long in the
no, he's
the family tree.
Yeah, he's my dad's cousin. Yeah, I didn't find out until I was like going in middle school. I guess he had a kind of thing with Bob Marley. There's a funny story, but I don't know if we have time to talk about it.
Oh no, let's go for it.
My dad didn't really like Bob Marley so much. Everybody thought he was a hero, but my dad thought he was very arrogant. And the way the story goes is my dad put together cars, and he put together his first car. And Bob Marley would drive around in those Volkswagen buggies, but he had a Volkswagen buggy with a Bentley front. So he kind of like, I don't know, he kind of spliced the car. So his engine messed up. He came to St. Ann and his engine messed up. And my dad had some parts that he needed in his car. And so my dad's older brothers and Bob Marley were trying to fandangle my dad out of basically his engine.
Got it, all right.
And so they made him feel bad, and they kind of, sort of berated him, and so.
Even in Jamaica, there's issues with mechanics and trying to get things right.
It's always a problem, man.
It's a struggle. What's going on, man?
But, yeah, Bob Marley's still a hero, though. But
Got it. And at the point that you found out, did you already appreciate him and his music? Were you like to your parents, why didn't you tell me that?
Yeah, I was very upset.
Got it.
I remember the day we were on our way to FDR Park, what it was called FDR Park, and I was like, dude, this is something you should have told me. You know I'm a musician. You know that the music is important to me. I think you should have told me that. And it just it happened by happenstance. I think I was growing my hair out, and my mom said something about me being a Rastafarian, that she didn't want me to be a Rastafarian like my dad's cousins, and that's how it led down that road.
Right, that one of the cousins was.
Bob Marley.
Okay. So you've been talking about church, so I think we should mention at this point, your father's actually a pastor. Your mother as well?
Yeah, they're co-pastors. I grew up, my grandfather was a pastor. Grandfather before that is a bishop and pastor. So I come from a long line of pastors and ministers and bishops.
Got it, and that's sort of where the music got started then.
Yeah.
In church.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we're getting started on a good foot here. We've been talking about Bob Marley music, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about your music career and being brought up in the church and all of that. Have to take a break. We'll be right back with Odane when we return.
Today, 1 out of every 4 American kids is Hispanic. That means many of the future doctors who will care for us, the engineers who will build our cities, the scientists and entrepreneurs of our country can be your kids. We all know how hard it is for you to send them to college. This is why we want you to know you are not alone. And every day, more people support you to make it happen. Many support you. And the Hispanic Scholarship Fund helps you prepare, plan, and pay for your kids' college education. Learn more at hsf.net.
I'm only 17, but I know about investing. Believe in something, buy shares in it, watch it grow. So, what if you could invest in the future? The future of kids, like a stock. Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. I could be one of the first college graduates from my family, the first philanthropist from my neighborhood. And if I'm the first, then maybe there's a second and a third. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow. My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
And the touch will make you smile. A kiss will leave you weak. And the look within their eyes will say with you, I am complete, yeah. And my heart will go on singing the song of you and me. Oh, the possibilities. So my heart will go on singing about those possibilities. Said my heart will go on singing about those possibilities. Yeah.
Welcome back to A Life in Art. We're here with musician and my good friend, Odane Whilby. So Odane, we talked about sort of you growing up and starting to play music in the church. Your parents are pastors. We talk about the Bob Marley connection, which is important. Got to get that in there.
Yeah.
So tell me about it. So are your parents artists as well? Do they play instruments or?
No, not at all.
Really?
Not at all. They are not. And
But they strongly encourage both you and your brother to get into that? Or how did that come about?
it was kind of play for church and make sure you can do church. And yeah, we started a church when I was 8 and they needed musicians. So me, my brother and I and my cousins, we all had to figure out what we were going to do in order to make sure that the music was going on and happening.
Wow. So
Yeah.
it was born out of necessity, basically.
Pretty much, but it seems like it skipped a generation and then like, cause all of my cousins we sing like
Right, are all musicians.
it's really weird. There's a whole bunch of really talented people that is
Got it.
scary.
And coming from that household, was there ever a struggle with you guys from, transitioning from gospel music, let's say, to secular music, or was that not really an issue with your parents?
Yeah. It was an issue. In some ways, it's still an issue. My parents
Really?
they still so much get it. But
What don't they get? They don't understand why you would want to play, pop or rock or.
right, yeah, they don't understand it. They think that, I don't know, I'm kind of compromising. But at the time, getting to understand what it is that musicians do, and what my purpose as an artist, I started to understand that there was a bigger world and a bigger way to impact life and impact people than just just through gospel music or just through Christian
Got it.
music.
So it sounds like it was a personal struggle that you had as well at one point.
Yeah, it was. It was really tough because I learned how to write metaphorically because I had to kind of like hide my feelings. I always gravitated to music that would really really wrapped in metaphors because it was also a way for me to say what I wanted to say, even though I couldn't get to say it like how I wanted to say it.
Got it. I
So-
see. All right. So let me ask you this, Odane. At this point, what are some of your favorite venues to perform at? You know, what happens after that? So you start in church, you go to Lehman College, you get your music degree. When do you start hitting the clubs? When do you start, you know, becoming a solo artist and putting Cardinal Theory together as we know it now?
Wow, I'm not exact. I think it was about maybe 5 years ago, and
Well, it seems longer than that to me.
it seems longer than that. I've been doing, but my first real show, she had a couple songs with a friend of mine, and that we both know, Kelly Jones, and she suggested that I do a show with her. It was gonna be on the roof of her church, and we were gonna do her.
Here we go, coming back to church again.
Yeah, you know, my life is really deeply rooted in church and my faith, and so
Yeah.
it was just natural. We did a show. Well, I did the show because
Right.
she ended up not being able to do the show with me.
No way.
So she was supposed to do. So my first show.
How long before the show did you find out that she wasn't going to
It
make
was
it?
maybe a day before.
Okay, all right. At least it wasn't on the day of.
But she let me use her church, and yeah, it worked out. I think she had some problems with musicians and getting musicians together, and so it's just like,
I can't imagine why. Musicians are so easy to work with and
yeah,
uncomplicated.
you
and
know how it is. Those just the nicest. But
Uh-huh.
yeah. So I ended up doing my first show by myself. She was there, she supported, but I ended up having to do like a whole show. I
Got it.
think she tricked me though. I think she knew I was nervous, and she said she would help me.
Oh, so she just sort of pushed you out there.
Right. Just
And what
push me.
happened then? You got the feedback from the audience, you felt it, and that's when you said, okay, this is what's for me.
Yeah. It really was like, oh crap, I could do this.
Right.
And I ended up doing more shows. I ended up doing a show at Bar 9. I think that was my second show. And that was the first time I did anything outside of church, as far as like, you know, other than school or church. I was just like, okay, I had to book my own show. I had to, you know, get people to come out, and it's gonna be in the
Right.
city.
How did your pastor parents feel about, all right, he has a gig at a place called Bar 9.
Yeah.
What in the, we've been telling him.
I think they still don't know.
Oh, it's like that. All right.
So yeah.
Okay. And what was that experience like? You know, you getting into that world of, you know, being your own promoter and trying to get people in. Probably there was something. Was it some sort of, you know, door deal where you know, split it with the owners of the establishment, or how did that work?
Oh man, the New York City hustle. I mean, it's exhilarating though. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, the first time is exhilarating. It's like, oh my God, I gotta do this. I'm putting this together. You know, calling everybody. I want everybody to see the music, and I'm rehearsing. And yeah, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be cool. And dealing with the business aspect, it just kind of threw me for a loop, because I had to learn fast that New York City, you know, downtown is not really, you know, they kind of take advantage of the new artist and the young mind, and so, you know, they tell you got to bring 10 people, and then after 10 people, you can after 10 people, then you get the money. So each person has to pay $10 or something like that.
Got it.
And
And
then
get two drink minimum. Or
two
something
drink
like
minimum and all that.
That. Got it.
And so what you don't know is that, or what you don't think about because you're so excited, is that, you know, they're going to put you in the first slot. You know, they're not going to give you the 9 o'clock slot. They're not going to give you the 10 o'clock slot. That's reserved for people that actually know what they're doing. They're going to give you the 7 o'clock slot or the 6 o'clock slot. And that 6 o'clock slot is everybody's coming home from work, and everybody's
Right.
just, you know, so you're just kind of stuck trying to get people to come out, and maybe 5 people come out, and you don't make any money because they pay, you know, you haven't reached your goal.
Yeah, yeah.
So you don't make any money. So after the first like 5 or 6 shows, I started realizing that I got to do something different.
Right.
So that's, yeah.
All right. Well, the learning curve wasn't that steep for you, 5 or 6 shows.
Yeah.
But then, how do you go about it? I mean, do you have a manager? Do you have an agent? Do you have some friends that have been doing it longer that, you know, help you out along the process and show you how it is, or is it just from your own experience that you started wising up?
It was a combination of it. I mean, we have a good friend, Dante Alberti, and he allowed me to. I guess further down the line, we started the Bruntner sessions, and that really became a way for me to kind of, for myself also to have a platform, but also to make a platform for other people you know, just to kind of help other people not go through that same
Got it. So they wouldn't
situation.
have to go through that experience.
Right.
All right, that's great. When we come back, we're going to take a little break. We're going to talk about the Bruckner sessions. We're going to talk about, you know, some other places you're performing, you know, the Hard Rock contest and all of that. I want to talk about that when we get back. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
I already knew that I was gonna go to college, you know, from a young age. I definitely want to major in political science, become the mayor or something, make the situation better for other people. My name is Justin, and I am your dividend.
Enroll, we say. We want you to be okay. Enroll, we say. Take care of people for goodness sake.
There's a plan for every budget, so don't accept defeat.
Now you can get covered and still
Buy me treats. You take care of your pets. Now it's their turn to take care of you. Visit getcoveredamerica.org to learn about your health insurance options.
And we're back on the Life and Art with Odane Whilby. So Odane, we left off talking about the Bruckner sessions and Dante Alberti, who's a good friend of both of us, my boss for Lehman Stages. And Lehman Stages, we've talked about it on the show actually before, is, you know, this company that has created great opportunities for artists here in the Bronx specifically. So Dante, you know, reached out to you and you know, opened up this possibility of a venue where you wouldn't have to hustle for, you know, the 10-person minimum and the 2-drink minimum and all of that. And then you were saying that you were able to, you know, create opportunities for other artists that way. So what did that mean to you, and how did that help you also? Because the way that I see it is that I felt that, you know, with the experience that you got there, you started to grow more as an artist and as an MC. Am I right there, or am I off base?
No, definitely on point. It helped me grow as an artist. I don't think the idea started out as a way just for artists to, or for me to have a platform for just myself, but it was, you know, intended to give artists from Lehman and performing artists that or songwriters that wanted to perform out of school and kind of into a real life situation.
Right, sort of raise the stakes a little bit.
Right, and you know, give them an opportunity to kind of deal with somebody that's already been doing, already in the hustle, and have a chance to talk with them. And so that was the appealing thing for me, because I wanted to be there and help somebody else not go through the crap that I went through, you know, not to have to, like, you know, get away from the pitfalls and not do all the unnecessary crap. And can I say crap?
Yeah, you can say it.
Okay.
Let's ask your pastor parents if that's okay.
Right.
All right, cool. So that's the Bruckner, and, you know, we could give more information to people on that as that continues to happen in the future. Talk to me about how you got involved with, you know, me going down to see you in Times Square at BB King's, being a finalist for the Hard Rock, you know, at the Hard Rock. Tell me a little bit more about that. And it was the chance was it was a contest to open for Bruce Springsteen in London, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So what's that all about? And
That
tell me
was
the name, because I got it all mixed up.
No, you got it right. The Hard Rock, I think it was the Hard Rock Rising or something like that.
Yeah,
really
Rising
weird
Star, I
name.
think. Okay.
So they, I did a computer, internet contest, and I just put my music up there. You know, just trying to put stuff up because just reaching out, because, you know, you're at that point as a music artist, and you're trying to just get everything out there. So I'm in that mode, like I'm just trying to throw everything out there, and you should. That's something that you should do as an artist. Just take every opportunity, always every open door. Try to fit your hand or your head through there and say, hey, you know, I do music, I do something, I have something to say.
Right. So you entered the contest with your band, Cardinal Theory. That includes your brother. It includes a couple of other great guys that you work with, Marcos Robinson.
Yeah.
I think JT Maple was working with you guys at that point.
JT wasn't working with us at that time, but he came along a little while after.
And J.R. McKenzie.
J.R. and Gabe and and my wife now, Glendalis, and
I wasn't gonna leave the show without mentioning Glendalis. So
and my cousin Tajan Edwards, and so we did that. We got in by the skin of our teeth, literally. Actually, it was another band that liked the music and was like, you guys should be on the contest,
Yeah.
with us. And like, cause I didn't know anybody. I had no following.
Right.
And this other band had a big following, and they saw the stuff that we did, and they liked the stuff that we did. And
Well,
it was,
that's great, man. Like you were talking about with the Bruckner, you're reaching out to, help other artists to not have to go through some of the things that you went through. And then here you have this other band coming and lending you guys a hand so
Yeah.
that you wouldn't have to, and sort of pushing you to go out and do your thing.
Exactly.
So what was the experience like for you? And you guys placed what? You ended up being in...
We won the first semifinals,
Right.
and then we lost in the finals.
Right.
Yeah, but it was cool.
Yeah, no, and it was a magic moment. I mean, being there in the audience, I just felt so proud of you guys, and
Wow.
you looked
Thank
like
you.
rock stars up there. You sounded great, so it was amazing. I mean, you were at a huge venue, and great sound engineers and all of that. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So you mentioned somebody in the band that I don't think we could leave the show without talking about. We've both experienced recently loss of some great artists that we've worked with. One of them, of course, being your cousin Tay John, who you've said to me was like a brother to you, and we saw them there, and he left far too soon in a car accident. And I've been thinking a lot also about our friend Maurice, who is the founder of Hip Hop Theory, and also gone too soon at 33 years of age.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I mean, I'm 31. How old are you?
I'm going to be 30 in December.
Going to be 30. And I just feel like I can't even count how many funerals I've been to in the last year or two.
Yeah.
And some of them is, parents of, friends that might have been up there in age. But other times it's just, young people like that. And I don't know, as a musician, as an artist, when you see a young artist like that, like Tay, like Mo, go, I don't know, what does it make you feel? What do you think about?
It just reminds me that like life is fickle, life is short. Also, that the only thing you leave is the love that you express. Your passion. It should be about love. You can't do this without loving what you do. Like all the stuff that if you do it for any other reason, you will end up just falling by the wayside or end up doing something else.
Right.
It's all hinged on how much you love what you do. And you learn that, relationship isn't all about the good feelings. Hard rock was a great time, but I've had like really low moments,
Right.
like more low moments than high moments. And
Right, you got to sort of use the high moments to sustain you through all the low moments and the rejection and the, that might come.
Yeah, and I mean more than that, you have to know why you did it, why it's important to you. And one thing that I learned from Tajan is that was it. He pushed and excelled and excelled. He's one of those cousins that I told about that was just ridiculously talented.
Mm-hmm.
He started at just singing, and he said, I wanted to play piano. Then he bought a computer and started to figure out
Right,
he couldn't
and ended up producing.
afford the more expensive stuff, but he got the cheapy computer, he got the cheapy programs, and he just figured it out.
Yeah, and got it done. It's amazing, man. And I think, we're out of time now, so we're going to wrap it up there. But yeah, I think, this is a good way, to end the episode talking about, artists who show you just how much art can transcend even, death, let's say, because he lives on, his art lives on, and the same thing with Mo. It's been a great pleasure having you, bro. Thanks for coming by. I enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you for having me.
That's all the time we have today. Thanks to Odane Whilby for sharing his life in art with us, and thank you all for joining us today. We'll be back with more stories from emerging artists when we return with A Life in Art.